Yeah, hi, Brian. Great. Hey, welcome to the WSDA AmPac Business Capital webinar on financing. Thank you, Lee and Joe, for your support of this event. And the entire leadership team at AmPac is very excited to be a member of WSDA and for this opportunity to speak to you. I am Leroy Onishi. Some of you may remember me from a past as the representative to the WSDA of other organizations. I retired in 2019 when my wife and I sold our house in Orange County and moved to the desert to enjoy the life of leisure, playing golf, pickleball, naps in the afternoon, and having dinner at 5 o'clock with all the other seniors. However, I was talked out of retirement to work on a part-time basis to help AmPac start a program to finance the purchase of trucks. But once I got here, I realized that not only can I help AmPac finance trucks, but that AmPac can help the people in the industry with a multitude of other financing products. Although I never thought I would say this, and people from AmPac, close your ears, I'm kind of glad that I was talked out of retirement. I'm liking what I do at AmPac because of the great people and the great programs AmPac has. It's a company like no other that I have been associated with. And the major reasons are AmPac's desire to help small businesses and its people. I would like to introduce those who are participating on this webinar today. First, we have Richard Pillay Jr., Senior VP, Community Lending. Brian Kennedy Jr., Ecosystem Director. Jaime Rodriguez, Vice President and Business Development Officer. And Martin Wong, EVP, Sales and Credit. I'd like to now turn the program over to Marty Wong. Marty, you're on mute.
My apologies. I was saying thank you, Leroy, for the introduction. I'm happy to hear that you've come out of retirement. And for those of you that are participating and listening in, welcome. We hope that this webinar is informative and that if you have any questions, please let us know. AmPac Business Capital, we are a nonprofit mission-based lender. We're regulated and certified by the SBA alongside the U.S. Department of Treasury to provide access to capital. And that access to capital comes in various forms of loans and technical assistance that we can get into more detail at our time. Why does AmPac exist? Because we are dedicated to our core value, which is to uplift communities, strengthen families, and advance entrepreneurial dreams. As I mentioned, we are a mission-based lender, and some of the products we offer range from startup business capital, and that would fall under the direction of Richard. Richard, can you kindly give us a little bit of information about your division and what you do?
Thank you so much, Marty, and welcome everyone to joining us on tonight. In the Community Lending Department, we are a CDC, that means a Community Development Company, which means we're licensed by the Small Business Administration of the United States to administer loans from $5,000 to $50,000. We also have in the community lending house, if you will, we have Cdfi loan products, and Cdfi stands for Community Development Financial Institution. We're licensed by the U.S. Department of Treasury to issue these types of lending up to $150,000, where we can assist small businesses in many areas. Primarily, most loans that we get are for working capital. You can make small equipment purchases with our loans, and you can also do tenant improvements, TIs, in your in the place where maybe you're parking your truck or you're looking to get more tools for your business, etc. We have the ability with those loans to do that. And then finally, we've been recently licensed by the Small Business Administration to do what we call Community Advantage loans. So if any of you as drivers have ever been to a bank or you heard somebody talk about getting a 7A loan, that's a small business loan. But with the Community Advantage, we have some flexibilities that a bank does not have, hence the expression of our department, community lending. We're here to provide the lending that you can't get from a traditional bank, but it's to meet all the needs that a small business owner would need, both for your truck purchases when they're smaller and not the 504 level, and also for working capital for your business. Thank you so much, Marty.
Thank you, Richard, for giving us information about Community Advantage. One of the other products that we offer, and it's really the core for AmPac, is our SBA 504 program. I'm going to turn the mic over to Jaime, and he'll give you a brief presentation of the 504 and how it might be able to help you and your business as you grow. Jaime, you're on.
Hi, Marty. Thank you so much. The 504 program is really the core business here at AmPac. Aside from the micro lending that we do, like Richard just mentioned, anything from $5,000 to $150,000. If you're someone who is thinking of just how do I own my first truck, or how do I finance a small working capital loan to keep my business going, eventually you're going to get to a point where your business will grow. And if that dream of yours is to own a building, whether it's to either park your trucks or just expand, and the opportunity comes where you now can own that building, that's where the SBA 504 program comes in. In a nutshell, what it is it's a participation with a lender in which you're allowed to come in with 10% down. So we participate with a lender. It could be one of your traditional banks out there. We will do the underwriting and processing on behalf of the SBA and submit that on your behalf, allowing you to keep a lot of that money for your business to grow with as minimum down payment as possible. And ultimately, if that is a dream of yours, to own your own building and build a legacy. So in a nutshell, Marty, that's what it is. And then I'm here for any more questions.
Thank you so much, Jaime. So folks, as you can see, AmPac Business Capital really does take a interest in your business from a startup to legacy. We are there to help you every step of the way. We have other resources available that we offer. One of them is a newly created ecosystem. And I'm going to turn it over to Brian, and he can give you a sneak preview of what it is and how it can help you. Brian, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Marty. And thank you each and every person for joining us today. We're grateful to share the AmPac story. So as you've heard from our different business development officers, we really try to make access to capital as easy as ABC, putting it in an application, business, and closing pipeline funnel. On the other side, as you can see on the slide in front of you, there's a good bit that goes into the loan process. And it can be a little challenging to navigate if you've never had to submit a personal financial statement or a personal history statement. What is a business debt schedule? These are real questions. And a lot of folks simply don't have the help to guide them on how they get personal tax returns filed and set up for a lender. How do they get their business plan lined up so it's really sharp? That's what our entrepreneur ecosystem is here to do. Our goal is to make access to business coaching as easy as ABC. So we do serve as a hub and broadcast center for numerous government funded technical assistance partners. We are very soon launching our fully scaled mobile app, where if you want to reserve business space, a little office to meet or to do your own administrative work, you can do that on the app. It also hosts events and opportunities for you to engage with the small business community that is connected with AmPac Business Capital. The most important part of AmPac's ecosystem is the access to business coaching partners. There are so many resources out there who will walk with you hand in hand through every stage of our ABC model. These are a lot of documents. If you don't know what to do, we have partners who will help you, and we point you directly to them. You can call our office and we can connect you, or you can call our business coaching partners directly. Just a couple of our partners that we really like to highlight is the Orange County and Empire Small Business Development Center. Very well built out, government funded small business consulting service for free. Every resource they give you is free. You can give them a call, you can visit their website and book an appointment, but our ecosystem is going to point you to these partners. We have the Inland Empire Women's Business Center, as well as the Coachella Valley Women's Business Center, both very adept business centers that our president and founder even used as she was coming through her process. We have SCORE, which is the organization of retired executives, folks who have been there, done that, and can really push you forward, not only based on what they've learned, but what they've done. We have an Inland Empire SCORE chapter that we tout with pride. And we also have a Coachella Valley SCORE chapter that is also available for folks in the Coachella Valley area. We do have both numbers listed as well, and we will be sharing this deck with everyone, most definitely. But you can also visit their website and book with them directly and pair with a mentor for the life of your business. SCORE is a phenomenal resource that we are proud to be partnered with. Lastly, for those who are veterans, there is a resource specifically for you. The Socal Veterans Business Outreach Center is prominent nationwide and another government-funded technical assistance center. Definitely give them a call if you're a veteran looking to get support for your small business. They walk hand in hand. We do also pride ourselves on the amount of events that are going on in our region that we can point you to, because there's a lot of opportunity with the new virtual space we're in. If you can get on Zoom, you can access any information anywhere. So we have classes, courses around all the concepts of business development. Just upcoming here, and this is the C of our ABC model for access to business coaching. You got to connect and collaborate. Attend the events. There are so many folks in these spaces who are simply hosting events to push your business forward. Great resource and a great network more than anything, right? It's more than just about getting the information. It's staying connected to the community. We encourage you to connect and collaborate. Business does not have to be siloed. We can be collaborative. And that's what we here at AmPac Business Capital are here to do, to be your collaborative business champion as you look to finance and foster your business success. So feel free, follow the ABC for business coaching, download our app, check out our business coaching technical assistance partners, and join some of our events. You can really connect and collaborate with the small business community here in the Inland Empire region. Thank you, Marty. I'll pass it to you to host our Q&A.
Well, thank you so much, Brian. The reason for this whole presentation is to focus on a new program that we introduced, and it is our logistics loan program. And it's headed and spearheaded up by Leroy, who introduced himself earlier. So I am going to let him share the highlights of this exciting program that we are launching. And if you have any questions afterwards, please fire away. Leroy, the floor is yours.
Well, as many of you know, a good part of my career was spent in financing trucks, both new and used. And I think there's a great opportunity for AmPac to get into that space and for us to be able to help any of you with your purchases for trucks. We are a CalCap certified lender, and therefore we do have a great resource for that. And because it is really in its infant stages, we have made proposals to our board, which we expect to have approval for our program to get launched very, very soon. We don't quite have it yet, but we are confident that we will. But in the meantime, if you are looking to purchase a truck, whether new or used, we can still help you. I think we can push it through our system quickly, and would love to be able to assist you in that. And with that, I'd like to kind of say that what you heard today is really extraordinary as far as lending to the small business community, because what we as AmPac can do is not only be able to finance anything from 5,000 up to millions for inventory, for working capital, for equipment purchases, and for whatever other, for facility purchases, and for truck purchases. And we are really trying to get into the logistics transportation sector, because I truly believe that that's an industry that has been neglected by the lending community as far as providing you the services that you really need. And with that, would love to hear some questions if you have any.
Just for overall reminders, questions are populated through the Q&A box. So we'll give a couple minutes. If you want to use the chat, that's fine. But we'll give a couple minutes for folks if they have any questions to pop them in. And then we'll do a quick little wrap up if there are no questions at this time. But definitely, chat box is open. Q&A box is open. We'd love to hear from you. We'll give it a couple minutes and see if anyone has any questions today. I am going to continue to keep an eye on the Q&A box and the chat box here. But while we are in this space of seeing if there is feedback to be given or received, I do want to make sure folks know this does not have to be the first or the last webinar that we can host here. We're available, right? We're not going anywhere. Our financing products are here to stay, and our ecosystem is here to stay. And we want to be a resource for each and every member within the Western State Trucking Association. I do see one question was popped into the chat from Daniel Moso. Said, what is the name of the portal where I can start the application? Daniel, that's a great question. I absolutely love that. So I'll do a little double hit. I will send you the link to our website where you can click the Apply Now button and start your application. But I will also, if you want to send me your email, I'll send you the link to the application directly. So whatever works best for you, we would love to serve you. Thank you for your question, Daniel.
Brian, would you happen to have a picture of the lovely building that they could visit us at and see the ecosystem?
Yes. So thank you, Richard. So this is our up and coming building. We're currently still under construction, so we're still building out. But we will be right in the smack dab of Ontario, California, right next to the Ontario Mills Mall. This is such a robust industrial area that we're grateful to be located in the middle of. Leroy, I'll let you hit on the reality of what this means for our accessibility physically to the trucking community in this region. But being next to the airport, being next to the mall, we have so many business parks around us. We're excited to really branch into this community with force. And so you will be able to come and visit us very soon at 3110B Inland Empire Boulevard in Ontario, California. Leroy?
Hey, Brian, Daniel has a follow-up question.
Oh, thank you, Marty. Let's see. How long does it usually take for a loan to get approved? Oh, that is a beautiful question, Daniel. So it does depend. To give you a short and concise answer first, what kind of loan are you aiming to get? How much is your loan? And most importantly, what does your package look like? So, and I'll scroll back to make that answer a little bit clear here. I'll give you a full look at the process. So you're asking, how long does it take for the loan to get approved? Well, first, we have to see if it is for working capital. Okay. So you would be in Richard Pillay's wheelhouse of community lending, aiming to work with Leroy as well. So Richard, I'll pass the mic so you can walk Daniel through the ABC and then what he's looking at in terms of timeline for a loan approval.
Excellent. Thank you, Brian. And Daniel, thank you for the question. On the screen before you, where Brian was just describing the ABC, the A is for application review and the B is for business review. This is the largest task, if you will, in the lending process, where you're supplying the information that you see on the screen. So that's an intentional list of documentation that's required. And we count the clock, if you will. We say the clock starts when all information is submitted to AmPac at the same time, because then we can take it directly to an underwriter. So let's say the clock will start from the time that we receive all of this information in-house. Within 72 hours, our underwriter will respond back to the applicant, and perhaps it's yourself or someone you may know, will respond back to the applicant describing any information that we may need that was not included, or questions that may need to be answered due to the information that was submitted. Once that information comes back, within the next 72 hours, an underwriter can make a recommendation for approval, or sometimes we have to say not now. At that time, if we have to say not now, because our objective is getting to a yes, but if we have to say not now, it's never no, it's just not now, we're going to provide a list of why the client did not get approved for the loan and who are the recommended partners to assist them in what particular areas where we're seeing they need assistance. Once they get that assistance, they can come back to us. We maintain all this information. It may just be a matter of updating a document or two, and those are just time-sensitive documents when you think about financial statements, just as an example, and then the process will continue from there. When the application is actually approved, we submit to our board. Our board is very good in returning responses to us and approving our loans. Usually it's about 3 days for us to get board approval, and we're literally drawing docs the very next day. So is it possible to close a loan in 30 days? It absolutely is. And I hope that information helps. Thank you, Brian.
And may I say something real quickly? One of our new slogans is, we do our best to get you a yes. And that's because the philosophy that we have is that life happens. In other words, a lot of people, other lenders, look at ways to say no. We really look at a way to find a yes, to get you to a yes. So you may have had some issues in the past, but we will look at those issues and we will do our best to get you to a yes.
Love that. Love that.
Hey, Brian, let me add something out there for those that are listening. We have a small audience today, but that's okay. What I wanted to say was the following, that regardless of the request, regardless of where you are in your business, you might be saying, well, I'm not a corporation with sole prop, I'm only one person. What is the SBA? How can they help me? Why would they want to help me? And we are very familiar with truckers and that type of industry. As a matter of fact, we ourselves did over 500 PPP loans. And I can honestly say that probably out of those 500, Brian, I think maybe a 10th, 1 out of every 10 applications was probably a trucker. We had 0 declines, although it was PPP. The SBA knows about that type of business. We are obviously on this call for this purpose, to attract that kind of business. And, we're not an organization that's going to send your application elsewhere. We touch it, we work it, we provide you the feedback. You're working with us. So it's different than obviously a lender who's maybe established where you become more of an application number and anything like that. So you're having that one-on-one access, which many people don't have. And like Brian just said, if it's an application that you've never done or it seems intimidating, do not disqualify yourself from that. We have people capable of sitting down with you, knowing the story, going through it, going through the application, learning about your business, asking you questions to present it in a position where we can get to that yes, like Leroy just said. So if you're out there and you're thinking, yeah, I don't know if I can do this, again, do not disqualify yourself. We are here to help. And if we can, achieve that, owning your own truck, or in the future, owning your own building, or even, maybe you have your truck, but you want to have some extra capital for maybe hiring an employee or another driver, whatever the case might be, run it by us. We'll gladly talk to you about it and we'll help you through the application. You're not going to get an email with 1,000, applications on an email and just say, hey, get this back to us. It doesn't work like that here. So just so that they know that it's not, it's not just, hey, send us the application, that's it. No, we will work with this client.
Thank you
Hey,
for
Brian, I see two other questions. Manuel asked, what is the starting loan fees to begin the loan process? I can answer that one. There is no fee, Manuel, to actually start the loan process. The SBA does have a SBA guarantee fee that it charges. It can be financed within the loan, and on average, the SBA loan fee or guarantee fee is about 3%. But again, it can be financed in the loan. The nice part about SBA financing that needs to be shared with the audience is the SBA was created to help level the playing field. As businesses grow or expand, or even in a startup level, many lenders are going to require that you be in 3 years of business. And if you're not in your 3rd year in business, they have to turn you away. The SBA will look at projections. We will also look at if you have 1 or 2 years of business operation, that's okay too. That's what the SBA is there for. And we are just a conduit to access that capital for you. So there is a guarantee fee, but it can be financed. So technically you could be out of pocket with 0 loan fees. If you're purchasing real estate, that might be a different scenario, but for SBA 7A, generally there isn't any out of pocket coming from you. Daniel asked another question. He wants to know what we use to determine the amount that he could qualify for. That's an excellent question, Daniel. For working capital, it's an area that as a lender, and I've been in lending for over 40 years, I always advocated that every business should have a working capital line of credit. How I determined that, I used 2 different techniques. I looked at a business's total revenue and said out of that total revenue, about 10% is what I thought would be acceptable. The other is to look at your profit and loss statement. And when you get into it, you'll get down to a line item that says total operating expenses. And that's what you may have paid if you're looking at it on a monthly basis. That's what you show on a monthly basis. And let's say that figure is $10,000. My other rule of thumb was to provide a line of credit that would cover at least 3 months of operating expense. So in this case, if it's $10,000 times 3, you should have at least a $30,000 line of credit that you could tap into for those emergencies, or an opportunity presents itself and you now have that cash ready to be used for whatever purposes you need. That's how I determine at least the size. How you qualify for it, there was a screen that Brian shared, was a 5 C's of credit. And that really is the core of all lending. All lenders, whether it's AmPac Business Capital or Bank of America or Wells Fargo, we all revert back to this tried and true 5 C's of credit. And if you want to know more about that, you're welcome to email any of us and we can share that 5 C's and how each lender, or how a lender, excuse me, may want to look at each one of those capacities or those categories. So sorry, Brian, I kind of took over there, but I'll turn the floor back over to you. And I don't know if there's any other questions.
You did touch on both, Marty. So thank you so much for that, and great answers as well. Daniel, I hope that does help. This slide really does give a good visual of it. I know I'm more of a visual learner, but Marty did give a good explanation there as well. And I will be sharing these slides with everyone following the conclusion of this webinar for reference. But what do we think? Any other questions at this time? The chat, the Q&A. Oh, way to come in hot, Daniel. I love it. Where can we have access to your contact information? Oh, Daniel, that's an easy one. I love questions like that. Okay, so let me get to the slide that showcases it first so you can see it. So you can reach us via phone. We are a company that still picks up the phone. I know a lot of groups these days give you the automated machine and you never get to actually talk to someone. We do pride ourselves on being able to talk to you.
Hey, Brian,
Yes.
Anybody out there in the audience that's probably concerned if English is a second language, I mean, we do have people that speak Spanish in the office as well as myself. So that's also, something, again, I'm talking about not disqualifying themselves. Obviously, I want them to obviously reach out to us and know that they can talk to someone who speaks Spanish if that's a need out there.
Thank you, Jaime.
Yeah.
That's a piece. Daniel,
Brian, you're not going to share that you speak Spanish as well?
Richard,
when Jaime's not around?
I thank you. I thank you. I do. I can speak Spanish decently. I am not as good as some of our other team members, but I'll be able to navigate as best I can. And if I can't, we have other team members who can speak better than I can. So we really pride ourselves on being not only a diverse group, if you can't tell by the members on the screen in front of you, but we really pride ourselves on being equitable and inclusive. We don't leave anyone out. We don't leave any rock unturned. We believe in getting you to that yes, no matter who you are or no matter where you come from. Any other questions at this time? I'll see if we got any more popping in. Let me get to that Q&A box. Okay. This has been really awesome. Genuinely, I'm not one to shy away from speaking toward how great a webinar is just because it doesn't have 100, 200, 300 participants. If you have 2 people and they're getting the information that you're putting out, that's a good webinar. And if I may speak directly, Daniel, Manuel, Lee, thank you for joining. This has been an honor and truly a pleasure. And we're grateful for you all taking time out of your, I'm sure, busy days. If you all would like us to give another presentation, please don't hesitate to reach out. Daniel, I did type an answer to your question in terms of the contact information. You can find more contact information at ampac.com, or you can call us directly. Let's see here. Daniel, it is such a pleasure. Thank you for jumping on. But yes, ampac.com. You can reach us directly via phone at 909-816-1706. I'll also be sharing this PowerPoint presentation with everyone who attended, so you can get the direct email addresses of everyone who's been on this call. Leroy, thank you. Thank you.
Well, and one other thing, we will thank you to the WSTA. We will have it on the WSTA Facebook page. So anybody else who you think could benefit from this webinar, please let us know, and please send them to the WSTA web Facebook page. And I think, Brian, we have a YouTube channel.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And we will be posting this on our YouTube as well. So you'll have multiple access points if you want to revisit this webinar, multiple access points to information in general. Once again.
And how do they access our YouTube channel?
So you can go to youtube.com, or if you have the YouTube app, you can simply type in AmPac Business Capital, the same way it's read here on the bottom of the slide here, and it will go to our YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, so anytime we post, you'll see something pop up and be able to keep up with what's going on. But we have a host of different resources on our YouTube channel. We have a business boot camp. We have, if you did a PPP loan, we have information about PPP forgiveness. And we're going to continue to get more information out there around general financial literacy and, of course, business lending and the different ways we can give you access to business capital and make it as easy as ABC. I hope that helps, Leroy.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Well then, it seems like there are no more questions at this time. So I will pass it back to Marty to give us a good closure here. Marty?
Thank you, Brian. Again, thank you, Manuel and Daniel, for participating. This will not be the only webinar that we will be sponsoring or co-sponsoring with the WSTA. We will have others and provide updated information. So stay tuned. Look for any emails coming from the association are from AmPac, share this with your friends. Let them know that we are another player out there that can assist them in truck finance, in any logistics, transportation needs they may have. I believe, Leroy, you are going to put together a flyer. We don't have one, and that's going to be distributed amongst all the members of the Trucking Association, correct?
Flyer, well, this is the one that we have right now. So I will work with the association to see what we can do.
Okay, very good. So folks, thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to introduce ourselves to you. We really are looking forward to working with you. If there are any questions, please feel free to email each and every one of us or one of us, and we'll do our best to get the answer. Other than that, I wish all of you a nice evening and a pleasant weekend.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Till we meet again. Good night.